Welcome to the Bit Beacon broadcast. This is episode 088. It's June 23rd, 2025. You can call me Kodax, and I'll be your host through this week's broadcast. So I don't have any new purchases to talk about, but I did make some pre-orders that did cost me money up front, and these were done at Limited Run Games. I've been holding off on doing orders there too often, but recently they've just had a stack of games that I couldn't really pass up, and some nice little deluxe versions of these games with some little goodies. So I put in a pre-order for Gex Trilogy, Shinobi Art of Vengeance from Sega, Trails in the Sky First Chapter, Steelbook Edition, and Eartheon, a new game from the creators and composer of OG Sega Genesis games like Streets of Rage. They actually made a brand new Sega Genesis game, but it's coming first to consoles, and then sometime next year it'll be released on an actual Sega Genesis compatible cartridge, which is pretty cool. I'll share more about these games and their packages and what's in them when they arrive, so many months from now in early 2026. Yeah, I'm going to be waiting almost half a year, actually more than half a year. What have I been playing? I have still been playing Fantasy Life I have now completed the main story. I can't remember if I had done that by last week. So yeah, I'm just kind of grinding and doing lots of endgame stuff, leveling up all my different lives to higher tiers, the master level. I even got one of the lives, the combat life, all the way to the hero tier of mastery. Yeah, I'm just having fun grinding. It's a perfect game for me right now because I've just got a lot going on with events, personal work kinds of things, family, going in and out of town. So it's just a game where I don't, I can walk away from it for 2 or 3 days and come back to it, and I'm not missing anything. And I can just pick right back up where I left off, or if I only have 10, 15, 20 minutes to play, I can feel like I sort of accomplished something while I play it. So it's really a great game for just my life right now. So I'm really glad to have Fantasy Life again. So what's been going on? This past weekend, I surprised myself by attending 2 events I hadn't really anticipated going to. First up, I drove out to a Culver City Best Buy to attend one of their Nintendo Switch 2 Game Truck events. This was a small event, if you can really even call it that, but there were some unique goodies being given out. I should mention that Nintendo was actually a partner in these events as well, so it's Game Truck, Best Buy, and Nintendo. I think all 3 kind of coming together to promote the Switch 2. I'm sure Nintendo and Best Buy are footing the bill. There was an actual representative, an employee from Nintendo there. And when you checked in, I got a Switch 2 branded trucker cap, a Nintendo Switch 2 / My Nintendo branded red tote bag, a mini poster print for Mario Kart World, and because I placed first place in the elimination race, the gameplay portion of the event, I received one of the limited edition Best Buy Switch 2 collectible coins, which were originally given out to those who picked up their Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order on launch night at select Best Buy locations. Inside the Game Truck trailer, so it's basically this truck, then there's a big trailer attached to the end. They had multiple Nintendo Switch 2 units linked together, so 12 of us could play a round of Mario Kart World, the elimination mode, the same mode that I played when I went to the Switch 2 experience in LA back in, March, I think it was? Or was that April? I can't remember. So it was interesting to go inside one of these game trucks before. I've seen them advertised. I've seen them I've been on the freeway and seen one drive by me or something. So it was interesting, but it was also kind of underwhelming. It's literally just a dark trailer with a seat, a long couch against one side of the trailer, and then a bunch of game stations on the other side, so you just kind of sit on the couch. I think they had 6 or maybe it was 7 Switch 2 units with their own big TVs, and then it was 2 players at each station, and then we did that elimination race, and somehow I managed first place again, even though I've only ever played it one other time and the game's been out, and I imagine some of these people have been playing and enjoying the game. Not me though, $80, still too rich for my blood. So after that, I drove to East LA to attend the Borderlands 4 Fan Festival. We've been talking about Borderlands 4 here in recent weeks, with Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford kind of stepping in it repeatedly over a spat with fans about the proposed cost of Borderlands 4. This event was clearly aimed at pleasing fans, and they spared no expense at doing so, trying to earn back some goodwill, I think. So I thought the venue area was quite large, considering it was just for one game, and it was impeccably themed around the game with giant statues and faux buildings all around with different activities to participate in. The food and drinks were flowing. There was a seemingly limitless supply of free finger foods, mocktails, sodas, sparkling waters, and more. It was actually pretty good, especially these baked pizza dough ball things. I need to know how to make my own because those were really good. Attendees were given wristbands which would light up when it was your turn to play the demo of Borderlands 4, and I got to play right away when I stepped inside the venue because I was one of the first 30 or so people in line. Outside of dabbling a bit with the original Borderlands, I had never played a title in the series, but as a player of Destiny, I quickly acclimated to the looter shooter and enjoyed my brief 20 or so minutes with the game, culminating in this kind of crazy boss battle, which was actually pretty impressive. It felt MMO-like in a lot of ways. As for freebies, they had a station where you could have a shirt or hat custom printed with the design of your choosing, a station to make your own Borderlands-themed bracelet as well with special Borderlands charms. So I did get a shirt, and I did do the Borderlands charm bracelet making thing, which was actually kind of fun. The funniest thing, though, were these weird AI portraits that would take a photo of you and then apply a stylistic theme that was supposed to be made to fit the look of Borderlands, but the result was a bit more silly than that. I ended up looking like some resistance leader from the Hunger Games in my photo. So yeah, that was kind of weird. It's like I don't think the AI was doing exactly what they wanted it to do. Outside of that, some other photo ops and a mini Borderlands museum area. There wasn't a whole lot else to do, so after about 2 hours, I did, make my way out. I did run into Randy Pitchford, though, and I had him sign one of the cocktail napkins that had the game logo on it because I had nothing else on me. I was hoping they would have given out a poster or something like that, but my napkin will have to do. Overall, it was a great time, and I was impressed by the effort put into the event, and will give them props for keeping the spirit of E3 alive through their extravagant setup and after-party-like atmosphere. So 2 weeks ago, a new game from former Rockstar Games producer Leslie Benzies and his studio Build a Rocket Boy released their debut game, Mindseye. Mindseye is a single-player, narrative-driven action-adventure game set in an open-world-esque city environment. The game release was marred by controversies such as developers hopping into players' Twitch streams and begging them to stop streaming it. Why? Because the game is a complete and total mess. Even more so at launch. Studio co-CEO Mark Gerhard even claimed that there was a conspiracy to damage the game's reputation before launch, with bad actors paying people across the internet's social spaces to trash talk the game in advance of its release and during its release period. Studio head and game director Leslie Benzies has a lot of ambitions for Mindseye, including putting the game and its world into the hands of players as a type of metaverse they are calling everywhere. Think of it as like Roblox for adults. None of that ambition is available at launch, though, and given the poor reception and low sales, it remains to be seen if any of that ambition will ever come to light. Hence why this next piece of news is not all that much of a surprise. IGN, who gave a lot of coverage to Mindseye before launch, broke the news that Build a Rocket Boy is laying off at least 100 of their staff. IGN says Build a Rocket Boy has around 300 employees at their main office in the UK, and another 200 located elsewhere around the world. Build a Rocket Boy confirmed the layoffs with the following statement. We can confirm that we have had to make the painful decision to notify our hardworking team of some internal changes at Build a Rocket Boy. While we are working to reassign roles for as many of those impacted by these changes as possible, sadly, we are initiating a formal consultation process that may result in redundancies. Definitely will result. This decision has not been made lightly, and we are committed to handling this process with transparency, fairness, and respect for all employees. We will provide further details to the team over the coming weeks. The launch of Mindseye has been a significant milestone for Build a Rocket Boy, but we know that we have a lot more changes to do to grow our community in the coming years. The challenges we've faced have only strengthened our resolve, and while we are deeply saddened by today's decision, and thankful to our incredible team, this shift allows us to focus on delivering ongoing updates and performance optimization for Mindseye, while also ensuring the long-term success of Build a Rocket Boy's future ambitions. Build a Rocket Boy certainly still sounds optimistic about their future. I'm not sure who's bankrolling their operation, but it sounds like they are hoping the layoffs will give them the time they need to fix their game and get it into a reasonable state before they completely run out of money. We've seen it happen before with other games like No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk 2077, so maybe Mindseye has a shot at winning people over eventually. For the sake of all those still employed by Build a Rocket Boy, I do hope they can turn it around. So this is a bit of a short episode this week, as the industry is still a bit quiet in the wake of all the news and happenings in prior weeks. So later this week, I'm heading out of town for a work conference, so I'll be unable to put together an episode in time for next week's usual drop. I know it's a big disappointment to so many of you, but fear not, the Bit Beacon will return the following week with episode 089. Until then, take care, end transmission.